Hey guys, this is Chris again, coming in with another, this is a comparison, kind of the contrast kind of video here that you guys probably been waiting for on the Tudor, the Black Bay over here on the right, and the Ginault. This is the Ocean Rover. I think these have a lot of similarities, and they also have a lot of differences, of course. Of course, one of the main differences is, of course, this is Tudor. This is made by Rolex. Ginault is a replica manufacturer of the Rolex Submariner, which both of these are kind of an homage. If you think about it, really, the Tudor Black Bay, this one here is inspired by an old vintage Submariner, just kind of like this one is. This one's a amalgamation, I guess you'd say, of different old school Rolexes. These are both very similar because these have the no date dials. These are both run by almost similar movement. This one over here is that I have is the, of course, the Tudor with the ETA movement. Like I said in my last video, this is a little bit more rare than most of the other Tudors because this has the ETA movement with the rose, the black bezel. They only made this for about 6 months or so, but this is a modified ETA 2824, which essentially the Ginault is also a modified 2824, which Ginault has their own movement that they had copied the 2824 with. Both of these watches are really, really great watches. I really don't see too many faults in them. As you can see, both have these sign crowns over here at 3 o'clock. Ginault has that kind of, it's almost like a rose, kind of like Tudor. But both of them have the sign crowns, which is really, really good. And of course, the Ginault, one difference is the Ginault is on a bracelet. It's on that famous Rolex clasp, that glide lock clasp. Sorry, like I said, I'm filming from a different space, so I don't have my studio lights or anything like that. But it's got that glide lock clasp on here, which is really, really killer, especially for the price, like I said. Now, as I mentioned before in my one review of the Ginault Ocean Rover, I thought you could get the prices a little bit cheaper if you did the reuse, which I don't think you can anymore. These are stayed pretty steady at about $1,200, and I can definitely see why now that I've owned this for about 2 months. As you know, it's definitely really worth the price. I've never owned a Steinhardt or anything like that, so I can't really say as to the quality or anything, but the quality on here definitely is comparable to the Tudor quality. Again, sorry about the lighting here, guys. I'm not in my usual filming spot, so I don't have my studio lights on. But as I was saying, these are kind of very similar watches. Of course, these are both almost, this one's a gilt dial right here, whereas this one's not really, but it has the same style, almost the same style hands. Except for that one doesn't really have the, the rose or the triangular hand there, what you want to call it. And that's got the little lollipop second hand, whereas this has the gold for the gilt dial. But again, like I said, both these movements are very, very similar. The Ginault is their own in-house, I guess you could say, their copy of the ETA 2824 movement. And this is a modified version. Both of these are really highly accurate watches. I can't really speak per se because I don't have a graph or anything like that. Like a, one of the machines that you use for that. I don't have that on hand, but I can say both of these, from my experience, have been really, really accurate. My basic thing is, do you really want to go and pay, this was, at the time I bought it, right under $3,000, I think now, and I think they're steadily rising in prices. And of course, I bought this one in gray market, and then this one here is about $1,200 on their site, and I don't see them going down anytime soon. And again, like I said in my previous video, I stated that they did offer discounts, but I don't think they are offering too many discounts anymore, which I could see why, because the quality is definitely there, especially for somebody that's coming into the homage market. They're bringing something new to the homage market. I mean, look at the similarities here. I mean, you've got the 10 o'clock almost the same position. You've got the 20 over almost the same, pretty much the same position, 30. These dials are almost the same. Of course, this says hand built in America, which is really, really cool because you don't really see too many American built or American owned companies there's a lot of American-owned micro brands out there, but which Ginault is definitely a micro brand in my opinion. Basically, the only downfall on this watch that I've seen so far is, as I mentioned in my review of it, I think they could do without all the writing on the dial. Maybe just keep Ginault. Maybe do without the kinetic, continuous. Maybe keep the Ocean Rover on there, and maybe the 1,000 feet water resistance, but the certified chronometer and all that, I don't think they really need that in that model, because just kind of keep it kind of clean and simple, like the Tudor over here. Like I said, the Tudor is definitely clean dial. Look, it's just got that, the 200-meter water resistant, which, for that, I've never really tested these, so I can't prove it to you whether it's water resistant. I know I have worn both in the pools and everything before, so you don't have to worry about going swimming in either of these. But yeah, like I said, this one here is definitely a little bit more of a cleaner dial. Maybe if Ginault wanted to clean their dial up a little bit. That's about one of my only gripes, I would say, on this piece. But yeah, guys, basically, like I said, this has just been a comparison of size-wise. Of course, as you can see, this is a little bit bigger, even though it's a 41mm watch here. This is a 40mm watch, but you can definitely tell this is the Tudor is definitely a little bit bigger. So if you're looking for like a size comparison, this is a size comparison side by side that Ginault wears perfect. And again, I'm going to recommend this also. If you have the budget for both, go ahead and get both, because I would definitely recommend either, or you can't really go wrong with either one. But the Ginault fits in most budgets, and it is definitely a really, really high quality homage to Rolex, which this Tudor technically, I guess you could say, is an homage to an old school Rolex, which is kind of cool. But this has a little bit more prominence, I guess you could say, being that Tudor is made by Rolex. But this Ginault is definitely nipping at the heels of the higher end luxury market brands. I think this Ginault, once they're working on, a couple other models. I believe another couple years they're planning on bringing out their own model, and I really can't wait to see what they come out with on their own model. Ginault, that is, because if it's any indication of the quality of what these are right here, like I said, these quality on these are really, really killer, guys. I would not stress that enough. I've had people that have, like myself, Tudor, Zenith and all that, and have this, and they cannot rave about this enough. The quality on Ginault is really, really killer. I know they had some questions about them in the past, but I feel like they've opened up more as a company, and you know more about them. Again, like I said, they're always really cool to deal with. Me and Ginault have worked together before, so they're really, really cool people to deal with. And like I said, I can't wait to see what else they have to come up with. I can't wait to see what they have in the future as far as their own kind of design, what their take on it is. Because if it's anything like this, I think it's probably going to be even better quality than this. You can definitely expect it to be a really high grade watch. Again, would I recommend one or the other of these two? That depends, like I said, on your budget. If you have the budget for both, you can get the Tudor. Kind of use the Ginault as, no offense, Ginault is kind of like a beater watch, which a lot of guys do that have Rolexes and all that. They don't want to muck up their Rolex, and they get the Ginault. And like I said, both of these are definitely vintage, heavily vintage inspired. These are inspired by other Rolexes, both of them are. So in a way, you can almost kind of call the Tudor an homage watch to the Rolex, even though it's owned by Rolex, just kind of like Maserati's owned by Ferrari. They're kind of built in the same plant kind of thing. But basically, like I said, this Ginault is all like in-house. It's made in-house. The movement is made there. All the parts, I'm not sure. Other videos cover where the parts come from. But all the parts and all that are assembled there. They're made there. It's just, like I said, you really can't beat this watch for the quality. I can't hark on that enough. If you're thinking about Ginault and you have second thoughts, lately I've gone to smaller size watches, and this watch fits perfect. I still need to get a bracelet change on this, but like I said, this hasn't really been a comparison. It's kind of more of like a freestyle kind of opinion, my personal opinion on both pieces as to whether, a dual, whatever you want to call it. But as far as, like I said, quality and all that, it's really not that much less than the Tudor, honestly. And I've had the Tudor for a little while. But like I said, this is crazy quality for the price. This is almost, what, a quarter of the price of the Tudor? So if you think about Tudor or Rolex, I would give these guys a second look here, just to, ease your mind. If you're not sure you want to spend that much money on the watch, go for the Ginault and hold off for a little bit. And then if you like the looks of the Ginault, you love it and all that, go ahead and get the Rolex or Tudor that you want. And you want it, you're not going to waste in the case of the Submariner now, almost $8,000. This is a one-to-one replica or homage of the Rolex. And I think that Ginault did a quality job. Like I said, this bracelet is definitely killer. I mean, that even right down to the sliding glide lock clasp that they have on the Rolex, they did that almost immaculate. This watch has very few faults on it. And like I said, I could see why they are charging that $1,200 price mark. I rebut what I said in my last video on the Ginault about the $700 price range. I definitely see why these are $1,200 now after owning it for some time now. And like I said, do I think they're going to go up any more in price? They may not. Now, when they come out with their own model, that may be kind of pricey, closer to the $2,000 mark, and I can see that. Like I said, if the quality is any indication of this, and it's their own kind of design unique factor to it, I definitely see it being worth that. And like I said, would I recommend either one of these? Yes, I would. Of course, I had both of these, so I'm a little bit biased. But like I said, these are both killer pieces. And if you want both, and you can swing both, I would definitely recommend both. And if you can only swing one or the other, I would say save your money, get a Ginault, and hang on to that for a little bit, and see how you like that, for everyday wear, all that. And then if you want the Tudor or the Rolex, then you can go for it. But then if you're happy with your Ginault, which I'm very happy with my Ginault, I would say keep the Ginault and maybe see what else they have coming out soon. Alright guys, peace.